Hey guys, welcome to the first match with Grixis Control. Let's take a look at our opening hand. We won the die roll. Um, this hand is pretty good, I guess. Definitely a keeper. I am going to be playing a little slower in this match because this is the first time using my new setup, so let's see if I can make sure it doesn't mess up. I may have technical difficulties in the middle of the match and may have to pause. But alright, well, guess I'll lead here. I'm gonna fetch for a red anyway. Might as well go ahead and fill up our graveyard a little bit faster in case we draw a Tassiger or something. We'll cast Serum Vision. We drew a Kolaghan's Command, which is sweet. We want the land. I don't know if we want the Thought Scour. I guess we might just not have the time to cast it, but it is a good card to draw alongside all of our Delve spells. So I guess we'll keep the land too. I'm really not digging the card preview thing. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is. So he led with Island Serum Visions. Probably not worth it to hold up a counterspell on turn 2 for an island. Maybe if it was like a green-blue dual land or something, but he's probably not going to play like Snapcaster or something, and we kind of want to draw the Thought Scour that's on top. Don't really want to take damage, so I'll just place the Watery Grave tapped. Very little downside to making that play here. Hopefully you just cast like another Serum Visions or something and we get to play Snapcaster on Serum Visions without fear of remand, but that's not the case. Alright, just keep playing the draw go game. Another Sulphur Falls, I guess. We definitely want Thought Scour here, but I'm not sure if I should fetch first or fetch after. There's a potential of him casting Vendilion Click, but I think I'm okay bolting that. So we're actually going to fetch a Steam Vents tapped. And we're getting one more blue land just because we have Cryptic Command, and I get bitten pretty often by not fetching blue lands. Like, I could have gotten Blood Crypt and gotten a second red and a second black, but... Alright, 2 Spell Snares in the yard. Snapcaster Spell Snare is pretty good against an opponent trying to play a Snapcaster of his own. Alright. Dispel is a great card here. Now we can even fight over Snapcaster plus Thought Scour. And probably going to win the fight since we drew the Dispel. We can also attempt to remand our own Snapcaster Mage to get a little added value against his counterspell. Now, if he doesn't play a card, like if he doesn't play a land or a spell, I may not do anything, but play an island. We'll attempt Snapcaster. Snapcaster plus Thought Scour is pretty sweet. Being able to play Snapcaster Mage at instant speed, holding up counter spells and the like is nice. See if this thing resolves. It does. 2 Terminates in the yard. I'm going to assume he's blue-red twin since he has 2 islands and 2 Sulphur Falls in play. Could be bad for us since we milled over some Terminates. Alright, I'm going to shock myself, so I have the potential to go Snapcaster Terminate plus Dispel, or double Counterspell plus Dispel. Alright, and now we have pressure in play. He has to deal with it in some way or another, and if he never goes for anything, that's fine. I kind of want to Dispel this, and then if he goes Snapcaster Bolt, I'm just going to go Snapcaster Spell Snare. I want to keep our pressure on him. if he plays a Pestermite, we'll likely let it resolve and then Cull against command. Actually, I'm going to let him bolt this here, and I'm actually going to Cull against command, killing a Snapcaster and getting mine back. I think that's fair play. Because I don't want to lose to his Spell Snare or Dispel. I don't want to, like, walk into that mini trap. Oh, wait, yeah. Let this resolve. And then return and 2 damage. I think that killing Snapcaster is more valuable here than making him discard a card, although I do use the discard mode a significant amount. And now here he has the potential to resolve like a Deceiver Exarch while I'm tapped out, but we have 2 ways to fight over Splinter Twin on the following turn if we need to. We can even go main phase, Snapcaster Terminate. Alright. I'm not too worried about that right now. Let's see. We drew a land, so now I think we just bowl this thing before he gets untapped. We're at a not a really low life total, but it ain't high. Alright, it looks like he's just got a whole bunch of nothing. Alright, so yeah, he's just Splinter Twin, playing the Stomping Grounds, splashing for Ancient Grudge out of the sideboard. Nothing really here that we want to Snapcaster. We could go deal 2 damage to you and make you discard a card. I'd rather not do that right at this moment, though. Snapcaster Mages are pretty valuable, but actually it might be worth it just to put a little pressure on him. And plus, if he tries to like Cryptic Command our Snapcaster Mage, I should have gotten him. I couldn't get him on. I should have got an Island. If he tries to Cryptic Command our Snapcaster Mage, we can just remand it. And we may end up getting whooped by a Spell Snare or something, but alright, well, it's likely he's going to just remand this. So maybe maybe I shouldn't have targeted the Cull against command. Maybe I should just target Lightning Bolt, but he's only got 3 cards in hand. So I wanted to pressure his hand a little bit, but now this stops my Snapcaster chain. And if he remands it, that'd be great too. Okay, well, he's just flooding out real bad. He might have the combo in hand and just he doesn't want to go for it. So I think I'm just going to go for not cast Serum Visions and be able to go Snap Terminate plus Mana Leak. Or remand, I guess. Alright, still no reason to get too snippy. I guess we could Snapcaster and bolt him, but then that leaves us vulnerable to Electrolyze, which I don't think we actually need to be vulnerable to Electrolyze. It's a little greedy here, but I want to try to kill him, and we do have 2 counter spells to fight over his combo. And if he went for Cryptic or something, we did have a way to save our Snapcaster Mage. If he has Electrolyze here, that'd be pretty bad for us. We can remand it, but then you can just recast it. We can't Mana Leak it. But I think at some point in the last 2 turns, if he had Electrolyze, he would have cast it to kill Snap and draw a card. It's a fairly common play. Alright, well, looks like he just has a whole bunch of nothings. Alright, Cryptic Command on top. I think I'm going to bottom this Thought Scour. I'm going to play Angler and hold up 2 counter spells and hope that that's good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a weird tension between Tasigur and Snapcaster Mage in this deck where you want to delve and leave an option for... You want to delve and leave an option for your Snapcaster mages, but you also want to make your Tassigers better. But since we don't have Tassiger, I'm okay just making sure any Snapcaster mages I draw in the near future are good enough. And we know we have Cryptic on top, so even if he goes Snapcaster Mage, we can remand the Cryptic off of the Snapcaster Mage and still cast Cryptic Command. So he should be dead here. Our draw was pretty good this game. Vendillion Click. Alright, well, we'll start by remanding this, and if he just recasts it, then we'll Cryptic Command. Just make him use all of his mana for the turn. No one really plays Pact of Negation or anything like that. And even if he did play Pact of Negation on the Cryptic, he would still have to spend his whole next turn dealing with that. So in this matchup, we like the cheap counter spells. I think the mana leaks get really bad really fast. The lightning bolts are okay, but not great. The terminates are awesome. Kolaghan's Command's awesome. I kind of like playing this matchup similarly to how I play the twin matchups, where I just board in like Kranoses and things like that, and just try to be a little more overpowering in the late game. Spell Snares, Dispel, all those cards are really good at helping win counter wars, but it ends up making, you know, my stuff like Cryptic Command a lot worse because he's also going to have the same kind of stuff. I guess Lightning Bolt is not great for us. Since we have all these Terminates and Kolaghan's Commands, we have ways to kill small guys, and we don't need to overload on it. So I guess we'll try boarding those out. Plus the Staticaster does a fine job at killing Vendillion Click and opposing Snapcaster mages. The Deprive, I think, also comes in. I think you could make an argument for Fulminator Mage, but I don't have enough experience playing this deck yet to really want to board that in. I usually just do the very obvious things where Dragon's Call comes against Mono Red, Pyroclasm comes in against little weenie decks, and Fulminator comes in against decks with where their lands are really important. So we got to cut one more card. Mana Leak might be important, just for helping us stabilize as the game goes longer. Remand, I think, is great because it allows us to save our own spells from opposing counterspells. Vendillion Click is fine because it starts the initiation of the interaction on their turn, but it is expensive compared to the rest of the spells in our deck. Now, I think a lot of people do the same kind of stuff as me after board, and they just go bigger. Like, he'll probably have a Karanos or two or some Batter Skulls. So I guess Mana Leak's probably fine. Remand's probably fine. I don't really want to trim on Thought Scour because you want to hit land drops and fuel your guys to make them cheap. This is going to sound stupid. I'm going to trim a Cryptic Command. I don't really want to draw two of them. And I think if I just lose the counter war, I just get destroyed because it costs so much mana. Alright, this hand's fine. Couple draw spells. Spell Snare to fight over a Snapcaster Mage. Serum Visions. We will likely follow suit. Really hope you play Spell Sky. That'd be great. One cool trick in Modern that most people fail to realize is that when you play a deck with Serum Visions, it's almost always correct to fetch versus not fetch, since it allows you to get maximum quality out of your scries. And yeah, we just want to keep all the lands. Since we have all this interaction, we just want to make sure we hit our first few land drops. I guess we Serum Visions, and then if he doesn't do anything... Okay, well, we want both of those. Alright, well, we're probably not going to Thought Scour. That's another thing, you should usually Thought Scour before you Serum Visions, but we wanted to Serum Visions to use our mana more efficiently, and since we want to keep both cards, we also don't want to Thought Scour him, so I'm fine just like waiting on using the Thought Scour. Cavernous Souls on Wizard is pretty good against this deck. It's pretty good in general. A lot of people have started doing that ever since Sampardi did it. Alright. Well, we're going to have this weird turn in a minute where we probably Thought Scour ourselves. Electrolyze. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Card's usually pretty good against my Snapcaster mages, and I have one on top, so. Gonna wait one more turn to cast Tasigur. Don't really want to run into a Cryptic Command. We may actually go Thought Scour, Snapcaster Thought Scour. And then maybe use the Spell Snare to protect from a remand. It won't protect from a Cryptic Command, but that'll allow us to untap and resolve Tasigur while he's tapped out, which is nice. It is unlikely he's going to fight over the Snapcaster and the Thought Scour. Depending on what he does, if he goes top with the Serum Visions, there's always the potential of you using Thought Scour on them to mess up their scry. But in a deck like this, the reason why we play 4 Thought Scour is because of how good it is with Tasigur and all of your other Delve guys, like Gurmag Angler, the Zombie Fish. I really like these blue on blue matchups in Modern. They're a lot of fun. I think I'm going to probably go ahead and fetch a Steam Vents. If he ever decides on how he wants to scry. Bottom, top. The top card is a tricky one. I'm guessing it's probably just a land, actually. Because he probably had land, and his hand wants to hit land drops. But he wanted to give himself the potential to draw into something else in a minute. Now I think he's contemplating Snapcaster plus Serum Visions. Of course, this is all just speculation. You have to read between the lines when people are taking a while. He could just be grabbing a drink, you know. Alright, we drew Keranos. So if we end up drawing a land and he fights over this, I assume he's not going to, but if he does go Cryptic, draw, like, you know, counter draw, we can draw a land and cast Keranos, or we can just cast Tasigur. We can actually go Tasigur and then Kolaghan's Command, make him discard a card. Okay, well, that was basically worst case scenario. Alright. Cast Tasigur, we'll leave Spell Snare, Thought Scour, and Snapcaster. Good thing it resolves, that's nice. I consider just going Kolaghan's Command since he didn't fight over the Tasigur. Really hoping he doesn't have Dismember, that'd be kind of gross. Roast is okay because we have Spell Snare. Dismember, I guess we could probably win the fight over. He goes Dismember, we Mana Leak. He goes Remand, we Spell Snare. Alright, try to win this fight. Should be able to win this fight unless he has a 1 mana and a 2 mana or 2 1 manas. Alright, that's probably bad. but we're forcing him to initiate on his turn. That's the beauty of playing against Roast. So now if we draw a land, we just could play Karanos. And if not, we can actually just go Kolaghan's Command, you discard, and then play the Tasigur out of the graveyard. So, but land of Karanos in the mirror is always gigantic. And we have 2 Terminate, so it's going to be almost impossible for him to put a lot of pressure on us. Not to mention the Kolaghan's Command. And enough black mana to use both. We're okay hitting extra land drops here too, which is sweet. Alright, we'll dome him. I'm actually kind of afraid of Teferi here, so we're actually going to main phase our Kolaghan's Command, I think, and try to go Kolaghan's Command Tasigur. No, that's stupid, because then he might just combo kill us. I guess if he plays a Teferi, then in response we'll make him discard a card and get back Tasigur. Or maybe get back Snapcaster Mage. The problem is, like, if we fight over a bunch of stuff when he has a Teferi in play, we could end up getting punished. Because when we fight over it, you know, he could play like a 2-mana counter spell, and then we fight over it again, and then he goes Exarch, untap Splinter Twin, which... Alright, Vendilion Click is fine. He's going to target us, more than likely. Yeah, so we'll go return a card and do 2 damage to the Vendilion Click. Since he doesn't have enough mana to play an Exarch or anything, it's fine. Alright. So he's probably going to take our Snapcaster Mage, which I think we're okay with. Our hand is very good. Very well protected. And we have Karanos advantage. Alright, well he did take Snapcaster, and we have a counterspell and 3 Terminates. Really actually want to draw a land next turn off of Karanos. That way we can triple spell. Relic of Progenitus. Well, I guess I don't want to use my graveyard anymore, because I really don't want to fight over that. Not at all. And he tapped Cavern, which is awesome. So that means he doesn't have Teferi. At least not in hand. Alright, we'll try to deprive this. Don't want him to get extra card advantage out of it. And now he's going to pop the Relic. Yep. Now he did get us to burn our Deprive, but with a Karanos in play, I think we're in good shape. And we drew Dispel. So now we can actually still do triple spell in 1 turn, double Terminate and a Dispel to protect from a Cryptic Command. Just going to grind him out with Karanos. And now even if he plays Karanos, he's a little far behind on damage. Just 1 activation. He could get a little lucky and just hit us 4 times before we hit him 3. But we also get an extra draw. So since we do get to draw first with our Karanos. So we basically have to go 3 out of 5 before he goes 4 out of 4. So if we go 2 out of 5, we could just die. Snapcaster Mage is great. May just place a naked Snapcaster Mage to put pressure on him. Yep, there's Teferi. Right on time. Yeah, this could work out poorly for us. But, like, we may end up getting combo killed here if we try to fight over Teferi, but we kind of have to. Otherwise, we just don't get to play spells. There's one matchup where I really miss having, discard spells because they have Teferi. Alright, well that resolves, so that's great. So now it's going to be really hard for us to get combo killed because we can go Terminate and Dispel. So he has to have Splinter Twin, Exarch, and so yeah, he has to have Splinter Twin and a counter spell here. I guess he could have actually had another Exarch or another Pestermite and then a Splinter Twin. Man. Teferi is really scary. Just, it's so important to just like initiate all the stuff on your opponent's turn, and Cavern plus Teferi like is really frightening because his hand could have been either Counterspell, Splinter Twin, or another uh, creature combo piece and a Splinter Twin, and then we would have just died, even though we had almost complete control and a very good hand. So, yeah, that's Cavern plus Teferi is insanely good in this kind of a matchup. But we ended up winning anyway. We'll be back for the next match shortly.